I am proud to introduce Aaron Regunberg, our future and next Lieutenant Governor.
Thank you all so much for being here and for all of the support you've given me over the years. Thanks to Georgia and Priscilla and Jason and Kelvis for your very generous introductions. I want to thank my mother, who she is one of the strongest people I know, and I am so grateful to have you here. And of course, I want to thank my wife, Katie. Katie, you're an inspiration to me every day. I could not imagine my life without you, and I am so lucky to be married to you. I am proud to join you all here today in the beautiful city of Warwick. Not far from here, 245 years ago, Rhode Islanders lit the spark that began a revolution and changed the world forever. That moment in history captures the spirit of our state. Rhode Islanders are independent, tough, hardworking, and willing to stand up for what's right, and we deserve state leadership that reflects those values. Leadership that's willing to take on a system that we know is too often rigged in favor of the wealthy and the well-connected. We need to think big in our state. We need new ideas, new energy, new leadership, and that is why I am proud today to announce my campaign for Lieutenant Governor of Rhode Island. I've been in state government long enough to know that the system needs to change. I've seen firsthand how often Rhode Islanders who can't afford a state house lobbyist get ignored. And I know the only way to change that is to bring the people's voice to the state house. We need more public accountability, more voices at the table, more people who are organized to take on the fights that matter. And I know how to organize. That's how I first got involved in Rhode Island politics, organizing in our public schools. I founded the Providence Student Union to support the voices of our young people. Through PSU, students want healthier lunches, better approach to standardized testing, and transportation, so thousands of kids could take the bus instead of walk 3 miles to school. It was working on campaigns like these with incredible young people like Kelvis that taught me that big change is possible when voices from the community actually have a say in the political decisions that impact them. People-powered change inspired me to run for office in the first place. It's what's motivated my work, and it's what made possible the legislative victories that we've won. I've worked alongside great colleagues from across our state, many of whom I'm so grateful to see here today, like Representative Amori from East Providence, Representative Barros from Pawtucket, Representative Tanzi and Fogarty from South Kingstown, Representative Carson from Newport, and everyone else that Georgia thanked at the beginning. Together, we have taken on special interests and won some real progress for our communities. I've been proud to help lead successful fights to raise Rhode Islanders' wages, to expand access to wind and solar energy, and to guarantee paid sick days for over 100,000 Rhode Islanders who never before had that security. These fights have all been deeply personal for me. Like a lot of Rhode Islanders, I was raised by a single mom who is here today and who taught me growing up how important it is to treat families of all kinds with fairness and respect. That's where many of my values come from my family. As a kid, I was lucky to spend a lot of time with my grandparents. My endlessly tenacious grandmother, Bunny, was executive director of her Planned Parenthood chapter in the years before Roe v. Wade. My grandpa, Ralph, was born in Regunberg, Germany in 1930, and he became a refugee from the Holocaust. He escaped from fascism and made his way to our country, like so many before and since, looking for safety and opportunity and freedom. It was from my mom and my grandparents who taught me that our democracy and our values are worth fighting for, and that standing up for what's right is a fundamental responsibility. That's why I'm running to be your lieutenant governor. We need a statewide elected official who means it when they say it is my job to be a voice for all the families who can't afford that state house lobbyist. And that role has become even more critical since last November. In the days after Donald Trump's election, I helped organize the first major meeting to plan Rhode Island's response to this dangerous agenda. Over 1,000 people from across our state crammed into a school cafeteria, and together we built an active network that's helped and contributed to dozens of groups statewide and been a model across the country for people organizing against the Trump agenda and for working families. We need to make sure that our state government is doing everything possible to protect our communities from the abuses of power coming out of Washington every day. We've got a lot of work to do in Rhode Island, but I know that change is possible. We can take on inequality and secure living wages for all working families. We can guarantee health care as a fundamental human right, not a privilege for those who can afford it. We can defend our immigrant neighbors who contribute so much to our state. We can rebuild our crumbling schools and make sure the top 1% pays their fair share. We can launch a Green New Deal to put thousands of Rhode Islanders to work expanding clean energy. And we can, and we will, stand up to protect a woman's right to choose no matter what happens in Washington. Of course, no one can accomplish those things alone. But the Lieutenant Governor's office can help. Let's take that statewide bullhorn and use it to bring people like you and thousands of other Rhode Islanders together to make our voices heard in government. Let's take that office for the people. Let's use those resources to put your priorities front and center. Our goal with this campaign is to follow in the footsteps of that band of patriots in 1772, to build a movement of Rhode Islanders who will stand up and fight back. We're going to take this campaign directly to the people, in town halls, in living rooms, and communities across our state, and we are going to make sure that Rhode Islanders have a voice in their government, so that together we can build a future that's fair for all of us. Thank you all again so much for being here. Let's get to work.